I put out a poll asking you guys what build you would like to see next, and 50% of you said you would like to see one of the weakest weapons in the game being the assault rifle class. So thanks for that. Thank you for making this difficult, but I think I've come up with a really good build, so let's get into this. Before we get into today's build, I just want to thank our sponsor, my cat Toffee. She's pretty damn cute. So with assault rifles, there is one major problem with them. They are pretty heavily outclassed by SMGs. SMGs get a 15% increase to damage just by standing out in the open. They can flank easy. They do this really solid amount of damage. They get a free weapon attack just for moving 5 spaces, so you get a lot of good control of the battlefield. Assault rifles don't move very much. Their attacks are weaker than the standard SMGs, and it is a real struggle to have a viable assault rifle user, especially as you get further in the game. I've ended up starting the game with 2 assault rifle users, Marshal Quan, and one of my rangers was an assault rifle user. And as I progressed, I ended up using Pazipi and an SMG user. I completely ignored the assault rifle class. There is some decent, unique assault rifles as you get further in the game, which I'll show off in this video as well. But what we've done to compensate for some of the low damage is we've gone as much as we can into critical hit chance and critical hit damage, and this also pairs well with the perk that has an automatic crit on your second weapon attack to the same enemy, so it does synergize well with the direction that we've gone here. Now let's get into attributes. Our main 3 attributes for this crit hunter is coordination, awareness, and intelligence. Coordination for the AP as with every build, awareness for the hit chance and the range damage bonus, as well as intelligence for crit chance and crit damage. The main purpose of this build is to be sitting in one place and doing as many crits as possible. So we want to make sure that our crit chance is as high as we can go, as well as our crit damage. If you do have gear that you can add to your crit chance as well, it is a good idea to put that on this character because we want to be critting as much as possible to overcome some of the other weaknesses for the assault rifles class. We have gone with serial killer for our quirk so that we gain 3 AP for each kill in combat. This has a nice synergy with the assault rifle perk trigger happy, so you gain 3 AP with trigger happy as well. So when you kill someone, you actually gain 6 AP. So if you do kill someone on the first action in your turn, you will end up with more AP than you started with. And as a background, we went with goat killer for the crit chance plus 5%. All about crit chance in this build. If you are struggling with health, you can remove these points from luck and put them into strength. What I've done here is I put extra points into luck for some extra lucky crit chance and mega crit chance. That's why we've got the points in luck here. But if you're struggling with health and staying alive, feel free to put those points into strength instead, or speed if you want to move around more. But as a assault rifle user, you are pretty stationary. You do have solid range. You don't really move too much. There are 2 main skills to make this build work: automatic weapons and weird scientists. Automatic weapons for the assault rifles, you want to max that out because we do have some really important perks in this build as well. And weird science for the energy, fire, and cold damage bonuses. That is why we have gone this direction. So as our main weapon, we are currently using the polar vortex, which is a cold damage weapon, but you can mod any other weapon to have cold damage or fire damage or energy damage. That's really up to you. You just need that mod. We're also using the atom smasher as our secondary. Now, the main reason we have done this and gone for these weapon classes being energy, fire, and cold is to overcompensate for the weakness in the assault rifle class. This gives us an extra 30% damage for this weapon class, which makes it really powerful. And when you combine it with some of the perks that are in the automatic weapons and weird science, you do get a good amount of damage that'll come out of this build. The remaining points, you can put them wherever you like into any of the general skills, exploration, or social skills. That's really up to you. These are all the main skills you need to get it to work. And as always with all of my builds, 1 point into first aid, and we always pick up emergency response. Now, as we look at perks, for the automatic weapons, you want to pick up all of the AR related perks. So puncturing shot for that ability, you won't really use that very often. I only use it when I can see 2 enemies that are grouped together and I can quickly aim through them to get that shot. Otherwise, it's just much more beneficial just to shoot the enemies that you come across. The next is go for hunter. So enemies have 25% less benefit from using cover because you will be shooting from cover and you won't be flanking with this build. It's very important that you pick up this perk. And double tap. If you attack a target twice in a row with an assault rifle, the second is always a critical hit. This is really important because we do want to crit as much as we can, so we want to make sure we've got a good crit damage, and our crit chance in general is pretty high. And the last one, which we've already talked about, is trigger happy, so that we gain an extra 3 AP on kills. This build is aimed at killing a lot of enemies, so you want to make sure that you're getting a lot of AP back from that. First aid, emergency response, as I said, and all of the weird science perks. So overcharge, so you can overcharge your weapons to do a little bit extra damage. Microwave research, so energy damage is increased by 0.5% bonus damage for every point of armor the target has, and as well, energy attacks have a 10% chance of electrocuting enemies, dealing energy damage to them as well, so that we can target a bit of AoE with the energy weapon that we run with. You could just go full energy weapon with this build. You don't have to use a cold weapon like we are as well, but it is up to you. You will come across more energy weapons throughout your playthrough than cold if you're just looking for a straight cold or energy weapon, but you can just mod the weapon to have that attachment as well. So you can just jump in and mod the plasma attachment onto it, or a cold one if you do have that as well. So when you're playing this build, you want to find a good spot where you can sit and just melt away enemies with your cold and energy, or fire if you've got the weapons. You want to have a good location where you can target multiple enemies and not have to move too much and be able to finish off enemies. The beauty about Wasteland 3 is that all of your allies get their turn at the same time. So what you can do is set up kills with this build, make sure that they actually trigger serial killer and trigger happy every turn. So maybe weaken down an enemy with one of your other characters and then finish them off with this guy for the +6 AP. This will then allow you to move to spaces and then attack again, or if you do have enough AP, then you will get in just a free extra attack from that. So it is also good to prepare at the end of your turns to save that AP. I wouldn't be worrying too much about defending or ambushing or any of that. If you are within range, make sure you're taking that shot and then prepare to save your AP for the next turn so that you can get that extra shots in, because they are going to give you 6 AP when you do kill someone. If you still have that 2 left over, save that into the next turn. Next turn you kill someone again, that's another +6. So over those 2 turns, just by using these perks and quirk, you have gained an extra 3 weapon attacks if you remain stationary. As a warning, this build will also use a ton of energy cells, so make sure you do have a lot of energy cells ammunition stored up, because you are going to be pumping through that with the assault rifles. You'll use multiple rounds per turn, so you want to make sure you've got a fair amount stored up, and just keep an eye on your ammo consumption, especially if you are using 2 energy weapons. That is a good idea to make sure that you've got a lot in stores, because if you do run out, then it's all over. But it is not too bad to just use a standard assault rifle if you only have 1 energy, or if you do run out of ammo. It will still do a fair amount of damage, because we have put a lot of points into our crit chance and our crit damage, so you can still do some decent amount of damage. It's just more beneficial if you are using these other types of elements, so that you can get that extra damage to humans or to machines, whatever it may be, and also avoid having to hit through that armor penetration, especially getting to the later stages of the game. Armor penetration and avoiding it is going to be better than just trying to shoot through it with a lot of weapon classes. And that is our assault rifle build. Let me know in the comments below what your assault rifle build is and how you would change this one, what things you would add or remove. You could go leadership, I guess, and take some points out of crit just so that you can get that multi-kill bonus. But yeah, that is really up to whatever you guys want to do. Please follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and on Twitch, where I stream 3 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, Australian night times. Hope to see you guys there in the next stream. Thanks for watching this video. My name is Norza, and I hope you have a great day.